Hi, Commissioner Froerer here. We're going to talk about this week's Weber County Commission meeting. We've got two great people with us today. To my left is Sara Toliver from Visit Ogden. She's the CEO over there. And our own Scott Parke, our comptroller here at Weber County. Let's first start, Sara, with talk about the 250.
Okay, perfect.
Year.
Next year is America's 250th birthday. So the nation is planning a number of celebrations, and the state of Utah is also planning a number of celebrations to help support that initiative. So a Utah 250 committee has been formed, and they have asked each of the municipalities in the state to also form committees that can help support just the celebration of this momentous occasion. So here in Ogden and Weber County, we formed a joint committee, which was the first step. Second step was to pass the resolution acknowledging that committee, and now we can start submitting our ideas for our celebrations next summer to the Utah 250 committee, which also opens up an opportunity for some funding to support those initiatives.
Sara puts on great events here in Ogden throughout northern Utah. She's a real star for us in Weber County, so we're excited to see what happens in that event, and we're happy to pass that resolution. Talk to us. The next thing we did is we authorized an increase in the TRT from 4.25 to 4.5 under state statute. We're allowed to do that. The TRT basically is a transient room tax. That's not something that's paid on property tax. That's paid by basically out-of-staters, those that use our rooms, our hotels, etc.
The transient room tax rate is really a sales tax that's put on short-term lodging stays of less than 30 days, so hotels, short-term rentals, etc. And the rate has been 4.25% since 2006 for the counties, and so this was an opportunity to increase that to 4.5%. There were a lot of changes made to transient room tax legislation at the legislature this year, and that was one element of it. So by implementing that increase, we'll be able to collect a little bit more of that tax revenue from our visitors, as well as all of the additional sales tax from eating out at restaurants, visiting our attractions, etc. So it'll help aid in our visitor economy efforts.
I'm going to have Scott just talk briefly about what the certified tax rate is.
We're a revenue neutral state, so what that means is as the value of your home or property goes up, the tax rate will actually go down to offset that. So we passed the tax rate this year, and most people will see the certified tax rate for the county will have gone down compared to last year. Now that doesn't mean we've lowered taxes, it means the values of your home went up, and so the county is held harmless. We don't get to make any more money because the value of your homes or your properties went up. The only way the county collects more tax revenue is if somebody builds a new home, a new business, or if the county goes through a truth in taxation process and raises the tax rates.
Correct. So basically the certified tax rate decreases because our overall values this past year went up.
Yes.
Now, when people receive their tax notice, and they'll receive that preliminary estimate sometime probably in August or end of August, you'll see Weber County on there. Does Weber County take all that money, Scott, or does it go to other places?
No, Weber County only gets about 25 cents on the dollar of all the property taxes. So school districts take up about 50 cents of every dollar. Cities and special service districts take up the rest. And so it is possible that the school district or the cities or the special service districts have actually raised their taxes through a truth in taxation process. And so when we say Weber County hasn't raised their taxes, we're talking about Weber County entity here that's controlled by the commissioners, not necessarily all the other school districts or cities. And if they choose to raise their taxes, we would really encourage people to go to those public hearings, talk to their school board members, talk to their city councils, and express their opinions on what those taxes are being used for.
If the school district, if your city's doing a tax increase, they'll have to do a notice of a public hearing. Go to those hearings. So keep in mind that we collect for a lot of other entities. You have the opportunity as a taxpayer to have your voice heard. So encourage you to do that. Again, thanks Scott, thanks Sara for being with us. Everybody have a great day. Thanks. We'll see you next week at the commission meeting.